My name is Blaze the Cat. I would like to preface all of this by saying one thing. If it can be avoided, never get mixed up with interdimensional time travel. Frequently I receive the question, Blaze, if you're from the Soul Dimension, how did you end up in the future with Silver? And how are you alive now? I can answer that, but my timeline is challenging even for me to wrap my mind around. I'm afraid we may have done some permanent damage with time anomalies that cannot be helped now. But here is my story. My very first adventure outside of my world was when Dr. Eggman stole the Soul Emeralds from me, and in a flash of white light, the emeralds pulled me into Sonic's dimension so that I could recover them. I had a lot of lessons to learn there.
You're my friend, Blaze! And if a friend's in trouble, you help them!
This is my problem, so I'll find them myself.
Sometimes you can't do things alone. And when you can, it's still better with friends. Got it?
Because of my powers, I have always been alone.
You need to be true to yourself.
I understand now.
As long as you have the power of friendship, the Soul Emeralds will never lose their shine.
Sonic, thank you for your help. Before returning to my world, things were shaken up again when a bunch of pirates were running rampant and stole my family's precious artifact, the Jeweled Scepter. That time, it was the Chaos Emeralds that pulled Sonic and Tails into my world instead. With their help, as well as Marines, we recovered the scepter and stopped the two Eggmans from destroying our worlds again. We began to wonder then if the Soul Emeralds and Chaos Emeralds were bringing us together intentionally.
Doesn't it seem like the Emeralds are trying to help us? If they weren't, I don't think they'd be nearly as stable as they are. It's almost as if they want to be used to do this.
Sonic, do you think that maybe you were brought here for a reason?
Brought here? By who?
By the Emeralds.
Well, you never know.
Things got a little weirder after that. Sometime later, while I was tending to the Soul Emeralds, one of them began to glow in my hand, and I got kicked into Sonic's dimension again, and I found myself in a giant, delicious-looking interstellar theme park. I was extremely concerned. Both times the Soul Emeralds and Chaos Emeralds had created an interdimensional jump for Sonic or me, it all revolved around Dr. Eggman Nega and Dr. Eggman trying to make their ridiculous Eggman Land thing. And now, suddenly I was in an outer space theme park filled with Eggman robots. I quickly tracked down Sonic and asked if he needed my help. He seemed very relaxed about everything, so I stood back to see how my friend was keeping things under control, and he was. How strange for the Soul Emeralds to bring me here when everything was okay. Eggman was making trouble, but Dr. Eggman Nega was nowhere in sight, and Sonic had grown even stronger than the last time I saw him. He was going to be okay. But why would the Soul Emeralds bring me here if that was the case? I decided to continue investigating. I met a silver hedgehog there who seemed to be having a good time despite being a little put out about some of the rides. Then some of Eggman's robots tried to pick a fight with us because we were Sonic's friends, I suppose, and we fought very well together. I didn't think much of it at the time, but Silver's psychokinesis worked so in tune with my flames. It felt very natural, like he knew what to do.
You work together well.
Yeah, you guys were in perfect sync.
I suppose it was an easier fight with your help.
It almost felt like we've paired up before.
Wow, maybe you guys were partners somewhere, sometime. I guess anything's possible.
Silver and I guarded the area for Sonic until the rest of the situation with Dr. Eggman and the Wisps was resolved. I asked Silver how he knew Sonic, and he told me that unfortunately he'd butted heads with him a couple times back, but that they were friends now. When I returned to the Soul Dimension, I remember that all I thought about the situation was that maybe the Soul Emeralds had brought me to Sonic that day, just to reassure me that my friend was doing well, that things in his world were under control. And, as I might have expected, he was making more and more friends with his charismatic nature. Silver was a powerful new ally of his, it seemed. I liked him. A little naive and impulsive, definitely a bit odd, but then I had always been a little odd myself. I didn't realize how important that day at Sweet Mountain really was. The next time the Soul Emeralds reached out to me with that powerful white light, I found myself in a world of devastation. Blackened skies, destroyed buildings, fire everywhere. Last time I had seen Sonic, his world was in such good hands. He was fine. What in the world had happened to the Mobius dimension? I explored the place in shock, and then I was attacked.
Another incarnation of Iblis. We have to put the fire out.
What? There must be some misunderstanding.
Wait! Stop!
Silver the
Hedgehog?
Attacking first and asking questions later isn't going to get us anywhere.
This creature is another mutation of Iblis. She may look harmless, but she's made of flames.
That can't be. Iblis has taken on many forms before, but it's never turned itself into a girl before. Don't worry, miss. We'll get this all sorted out. Just stick with me, okay?
It was so strange. It was Silver from Sweet Mountain, but he didn't seem to recognize me. He spoke to the elder of his resistance faction on my behalf, and put their faith in him on the line by insisting he would look after me at all times, to be certain I wasn't a threat. Though I sensed most of the resistance wasn't exactly friendly with him in the first place.
Sorry about that. It's been such a long time since a newcomer stumbled into Crisis City. Everyone's sort of on edge.
It doesn't exactly look like a prime vacationing spot. Was the last person who showed up here dangerous?
Oh nah, he was nothing special. Just a little kid with some powers that kinda surprised everybody. I'm Silver. Silver the Hedgehog. And you?
So, he didn't know me. It wasn't that long since we met the first time, was it? He was Sonic's friend, wasn't he? I took a risk and told him I was Blaze the Cat, and we had met at an amusement park once, on a giant mountain made of ice cream and cookies and pie. But,
That's quite a story! Nobody tells jokes like that around here.
He didn't believe me. I decided not to press the matter any further by telling him I was a princess from another dimension and a magical stone had teleported me to him. Instead, I continued along with Silver and learned of the situation with Iblis, the flames of disaster, and how this world had been devastated before he was born. As opposed to my previous dimension jumps with the Soul Emeralds, this was different. Before, I had only been away from my dimension for about a day. Here, though, the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months, and the months into a year. I noticed he spent nearly all his time with me. Despite his kindness and optimism and trusting nature, the others were always very formal with him and with each other. It made me think about Sonic and Cream and Marine and the other friends I had made and the importance they had taught me about those kinds of bonds. Silver's world seemed very lonely, like my life had been before, as the lone guardian of the Soul Emeralds. Silver, are you friends with any of your faction mates? You hardly ever interact with them.
Well, it's hard to keep friends for a very long time out here. The Elder says to think of each other as allies instead. It's easier that way.
It was difficult for him, and I knew what it was like to feel alone. So we were partners, fighting against Iblis and its everyday regenerations. What else could the Soul Emeralds have wanted me to do here? Silver tried to be as optimistic about things as possible, seeking every possibility for a resolution. But...
What's the point of all this? It'll never end.
Calm down, Silver. And then we met MEPHILES. Yes, he was a fairly untrustworthy-looking individual who literally had no mouth. My every instinct told me something was wrong with this guy. But Silver was willing to trust him, because no other solutions had presented themselves in a lifetime of fighting this monster. We had no choice but to investigate the lead MEPHILES was presenting to us. I was shocked to see that Sonic the Hedgehog was the Iblis trigger, the one MEPHILES told us we needed to travel into the past to destroy. Or else, this destruction was the inevitable future of his world. So, I was in Sonic's future. That explained a lot, but some part of me had begun to suspect it in the year I had been with Silver. But how could Sonic be responsible for such destruction? I had already learned that all I could do was listen, and wait, and look after Silver. When we were teleported back in time, however, we were separated. I was of course concerned that Silver would find Sonic first, and take action before I had a chance to find him and speak with him. So I set out in search of Silver. By the time I found him, he was already having his doubts.
To kill someone to save the world. Is that really the right thing to do?
You're so naive. Whether it's right or wrong, I can't really say. But what I do know is, if we don't take this chance, the future will remain exactly as it is. Of course I didn't want to kill Sonic. He was my friend. But if somehow he truly was responsible for the destruction of his own world, he would have chosen the world over himself, wouldn't he? As the protector of my own world, that's what I would have done. Fortunately, Silver figured things out after traveling further into the past with another hedgehog named Shadow.
I know how to save our world now. We don't have to change the past. I'm sure of it.
So, we returned to the future to fight Iblis and seal him away once and for all. But Iblis would not accept Silver as its vessel. His body simply couldn't handle it. So, I accepted that responsibility myself. Don't worry, my soul is already alit with flames. I will be accepted. I had to do it. Sonic's world and my world were interconnected in a way that was both coexisting and codependent. The Soul Emerald had brought me to Silver this time, and through all of this madness I followed along to find out why. What was I meant to do here? And this was it. To seal Iblis away, to protect our worlds. It's what the Soul Emeralds would have wanted. And in the choice between myself and the world, I chose the world. Even though I know it was very difficult for Silver. Come on, make it quick! Use your chaos control to stop time! Then, seal us into a different dimension!
No! I can't do that to you!
Didn't we already go through this? We agreed to save the world at any price!
I can't! I wouldn't know what to do! Without you! You fought alongside me to save the world! You're my friend, right?
You're still so naive. But I've always liked that about you.
Blaze!
Good luck, Silver! MEPHILES went on to create a space-time compression by unleashing the flames of disaster in the past within Princess Elise of Soliana. But I was long gone from that realm of reality.